So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and we have just seen an incredible fight between Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor, the rematch. What a fight it was, and what a performance by both ladies, and hats off goes to both of them because they pretty much from round one stood toe to toe with each other, and not one of them were backing off. And it was an incredible performance from both guys. Obviously, in the boxing game, usually there has to be one victor, and tonight it was Katie Taylor, and it was a well deserved victory in my eyes. A much improved performance, and it was a performance from the get go, I should say, because she come out like Usain Bolt out the blocks. She was fast, she was poised, she was on her feet, she was moving in and out as well, which caused Chantelle Cameron, what I mean, a lot of trouble in the earlier the first 2 3 rounds because she didn't kind of know how to handle that because Katie was quick, she was light, she was on her feet, she was landing her 3 or 4 punch combinations and getting out of there. Whereas in the first fight, she was landing 2 or 3 punches and staying there, and she was there to be hit in the first fight. Whereas this fight, she was on her toes, as I said, and she was gone once she landed her shots. But it was a good fight, and Chantelle Cameron, she's big for the weight, and you can see the size difference in there. And I feel that because Katie's obviously moving up, she's a super lightweight, and obviously Cameron's a lightweight. Every time Katie was landing on her, at times it felt as if the shots were kind of bouncing off Chantelle Cameron, and that's not saying that Katie hasn't got no power. It's just saying that there was for me there was a size difference, and if Katie was in there with someone her weight, these shots would have a lot more effect because honestly, this was the best performance and the best start to a fight that I've seen Katie in a long time. A lot of the time we're watching Katie Taylor and yeah, she's working and she's looking good in fights and stuff, but she doesn't look as poised, as concentrated, as motivated as what she was during the start of this fight. And in my head I was thinking, you know what, this is a brilliant start. And I just hope she could keep it going, for the full 10 rounds. And she did. She took a couple of rounds off throughout the 10 rounds, which is normal because the fight was such a fast paced and there was no way she was gonna be able to maintain the speed, the poise, the footwork and the in and out and the work rate that she did in round one to round 10. So she had a couple of rounds off in between the fight, but honestly, it was literally night and day from the first fight to the second fight. And yeah, she is now the two weight, I should say, division undisputed champion, and she's made history. And I hope that she's inspired some other young female boxers coming through because she is a star, and from my point of view, she will go down as maybe Ireland's best ever fighters because she's just brilliant, and she's had some good fights in her career, which people will at times go back and watch. And what I mean, from my point of view, I said it in my last video. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano was one of the best fights that I've seen, especially for female boxing, and that was the standard. That should be for any female boxer coming up. Or for any boxer generally, that should be the levels really, because that was an excellent fight. The first Chantelle Cameron versus Kaylee Tate, it was a good fight, but from my point of view, it wasn't the Katie which we all kind of know. And if it was the Katie who fought against Amanda Serrano, potentially it would have been a different fight. But it wasn't to be. Obviously, Chantelle won that, and in this rematch, it was a total different performance from Katie. And as I said, she was just poised and focused and so what I mean, motivated for winning this fight. She went out and she done it, and yeah, brilliant performance. And um, there's obviously now going to be a trilogy. I think it's right because obviously Chantel's got one, Katie's got one. It makes sense money wise, obviously, and just generally. I just think it makes sense because Chantelle Cameron, she performed really well, and the cut seemed to be bothering her throughout the fight. And but she carried on. Obviously, she bit down on a gum shield and she was throwing bombs and she was catching Katie at times, and she had some good successes in the rounds where Katie took off. Cameron had some good successes. She won those rounds, and she won them by being very physical, and being in there, you know what I mean, nice and close to Katie, disrupting her flow, and trying to, you know what I mean, cause damage by either you know what I mean, catching Katie by accident with a head, or potentially with an elbow as she's coming out. So she was trying to make the fight dirty just to try and take Katie off the game, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't to be tonight for Chantelle Cameron. But yeah, she's a strong girl, Chantelle, and she potentially, in my eyes, I think once Katie, you know what I mean, once they've had their trilogy and Katie maybe hangs up her gloves and stuff, she potentially could be the one that we're pretty much talking about. Because yeah, she is a strong girl and she will come back. And I think the thing is, obviously, from the first fight to the second fight, we've seen Katie go out there and she's made the adjustments to come back and win this second fight. Chantelle, the performance wasn't great. It wasn't the same performance as what it was in the first fight, and I don't know why, but it wasn't the same performance. But if she could go away now, Chantelle Cameron, if she could go away and tweet things, coming motivated and poised, and um, I can say like she just really wants to kind of win the trilogy against Katie. That's what right word I could find right now. 'Cause it's quite late, but then potentially we could see a really good trilogy because obviously she's lost now. This is her first loss. They both beat each other to have to suffer a loss each. So yeah, if she could go away, train hard, get focused, get motivated, and hopefully if Katie could come back into the trilogy with the same energy, enthusiasm, motivation that she showed in the first part of the fight, then we could see potentially one of the best fights ever. Because as I said, both of these girls from round one was, you know what I mean, they stood toe to toe, and not one of them pretty much took a backward step. So honestly, if we could see an improved performance from Chantelle Cameron and maybe the same and more from Katie Taylor, you're just gonna blend them both together, and this trilogy would be just phenomenal. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in regards to this fight. Um, are you like me? I mean, was it one of them? Wow, what a performance from Katie, or do you just think it was an off day for Chantelle Cameron? And would you like to see the trilogy? As always, guys, please subscribe and comment. Bless.